Can't believe I have to do another video. 5:35 a.m. Sunday, December 18th, 2016. There's something going on that just too many people are hearing and thinking it's true. And because I'm so attached to it, made the red atom body there, the male one, 5 times. Atlantis is not underneath Antarctica. Corey Goode, I gave you a gift. You're not using it. I know you get bothered like everything else that's here to make a difference. I'll be out of this body in days. Nothing will ever get near your head again that can mess with you, except for a stray spirit popping in. Usually before it gets to you, it'll be caught, deleted. All this is being taken off of everyone. But Corey, as soon as that's done, if you don't use your gift, I'm taking it back. Excuse me. David and Corey, would you quit being David Wilcock's little lapdog? That little 12-year-old child is on a rampage trying to show the world how smart and wonderful he is. David Wilcock, to talk to you directly, what the hell's the matter? You just are so hyped up on yourself. You want everyone to think it's about you. Buddy, it's not. You're a little teeny grain of sand in what we call creation. Real small. You're as equal as anything else. But man, your actions denote that of a 12-year-old child. You take something, then you make it. Then you make up the rest of it, and you smile at the audience, and da-da! See, it's da-da! Man, that's unreal what you do. Corey, that's not who you are. David Wilcock is solar plexus. You're a pineal, but he's also a child, and you're not. You're both soul, but. And there's nothing, not a damn thing wrong with that. I'm just saying. You're both soul, but you are not who he is. Take the time to look at things. If you took the time to look, you'd be able to go down to Atlantis and take a look at it. Now I need to show people on a map where the frack it is. Where it was, what happened, where it's at. Most everything you need to know about Atlantis, as far as the basics, is in the second book. Creation is beginning. Creation, its journey evolving into paradise. And if you get the second book, you're going to be lost reading almost all of it without the first book, knowing who's what that I'm talking about when I do. I'm the author, but your books, I wrote them for you. I had to do that before I left. I'm so sick of everything on the other side. The way it's been, the way it still is, even though all the big bad stuff's taken out, there's still all kinds of stupidity. That's about to get fixed days from now. Days. Days. Period. I'm shutting this body down, and when it's time, I'll make sure it's a real thing. Fortitude? Yeah, I got fortitude. Let me ask you something. When you look into someone's eyes, you literally look right into them. You look to what's inside them. It's light energy. What do you see? That's what my fortitude is. That's where it comes from. What I am inside, the real me. I'm tired of this crap. But all this insane shit. The poles have reversed. quite a few times on Gaia, on the Earth. When they do, it sets everything upside down. It'll wobble. It'll change the climate. There are some ruins in Antarctica. It's about twice the size of Australia. It's a large place. That's not Atlantis. Those are buildings where there used to be life, where things would happen, and then when the weather got bad enough, they'd leave and abandon it. Get in their starships and take off, spaceships, whatever you want to call them. Atlantis is, what's left of it is underground. It broke up. People, there were crystal pits everywhere. There's the initial pit. This is part of the initial pit of Atlantis. This was one of the little balancing crystals that went around. I drew something of a picture one time, one video, and I'd neither their time nor energy to do it now. I have to hurry up. I'm out of here soon. Real soon. And then because of it's the biggest, strongest one there ever was in Atlantis. But then they started making their own. Just copying what I made. The Red Atom. The first time here. 10.572 million years ago. Edgar Casey, when he was talking with that human essence spirit guide he had, gave you some good information. They didn't say 10.572, I gave you that, but they gave you something. He gave you something approximate. Except Edgar Casey and Atlantis, he broke the two groups down into the two basic philosophical or philosophy groups, whatever, that were in Atlantis. It was the children of the law one, and then he says the children of Belial. He was trying to say the children of denial. Okay, when Edgar Casey, he had a certain way to relax himself, loosen up, to go and talk with his spirit guide. So that affected him. That's all I'm going to say or need to say there. Edgar Casey was one hell of an awesome being. His soul himself, which, by the way, his soul itself and that spirit that originally came from Gaia, that's planetary essence, the second part of his Kundalini, and the DNA in Edgar Casey and David Wilcock is very similar. They are not. It's not the same spirit. The spirit of David Wilcock is totally something separate. The spirit that was inside Edgar Casey was growing up in Chicago in a female body. She's out of there now, but goes back to visit, and that's enough of that. Sometimes the spirit will go back into the body that's in the same DNA line. Barry Newkirk, you can find him on the internet. He was Tesla. His last life was Tesla, and he looks just like him. But DNA traits don't mean that it's the same person. Usually they're not. But Barry Newkirk was Tesla, and he also was Loki. He was my stepbrother. So I had one guy call me up all pissed off about that one time, and it's like, I was kind of nice to him, but you can't convince me. I don't need to convince you. I'm not trying to. I told you what is. It's, however you want to deal with it, that's your issue. I'm offering information. I'm not demanding you do anything with it. I don't make demands. I do what I need to do, whether it's to help someone or do something else. I do what I already know is right. No one tells me what to do. Eat them apples. I'm not here for anything else. I don't have any secret agenda. I'm very straightforward with everything I do. If I'm not playing, I don't know what the hell is. Anyway, let's keep going. Folks, I'm upset about the other side. I'm upset about what's been going on in creation since the beginning. I remember the very first life. It's been sick. It's been horrible. I understand why it all happened. Doesn't matter. It's on the way to being finished, being fixed in the second dimension, and then that's what runs this one, folks. Like it or not. Then this dimension, this third dimension, will be fixed. It'll be done through the second dimension. Lily's going to be very involved. Different big parts of Lily are going to be very involved in what's going on there. Anyway, again, moving on. I'm having a hard time moving. My arthritis is kicking in real hard, and I had some implants removed the night before last, so I'm having some issues. I just printed out some different stuff that's let's get this squared away. I'm gonna turn the computer off. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now, what I was talking about before, where I really got pissed off at David Wilcock, man, dude, all this crap you're spewing just for attention. Original Atlantis, okay? You're all saying it's under the North Pole, the South Pole now, Antarctica, okay? Bullshit, it's not. This is where it used to be. Now, don't anyone try to take longitude and latitude and all this crap. This is a basic area that includes some islands. Okay? Now, what remains of Atlantis is this landmass right there. That's what remains of Atlantis. This is what it was. This is what it was. This is what it is now. That's where it's at, okay? And y'all are spreading so much crap just for self-glory, glorification. It's disgusting. Now, how did Atlantis get smaller? Those crystal pits I mentioned, but I didn't follow through with that yet. There's like 7 different crystal pits that were pretty good size, firing up, getting strong, building up more energy, more energy. There started being smaller areas of armies, tribes, whatever you want to call them, clans of the in Atlantis. As Atlantis went on and on, more the Adamics were being force-bred with the Anunnaki down there, making some incredibly powerful beings, and they had their mindset to take over the world. They very short, as soon as they got real strong, one of the places they went was Honduras. Anyway, all these crystal pits that they had, the way the crystal pit worked, I know I've said this before, I'm going to say it one last time. The way the crystal pits work is that a hole was bored through the crust towards the magma, into the magma, whatever. And then you had there was a set of crystals like a cone, and then another set of crystals above it like a cone going the other way, inverted, with a big hole in it, crystal hanging up there, and then another crystal down at the bottom, at the hole, on top of the hole where it went through. They had to be a certain configuration. They took atomic energy from inside the planet, atomic energy from the star, whatever, nuclear, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. And then when they met, and I showed you the piece of the equalizer, balancer, whatever you want to call it, a piece of one of those crystals. That's one that exploded from the original pit when there was a big fight between the Adamics. Over 2,000 of them fighting each other. Anyway, so they, from drilling through the crust of the continent, which was already shaky anyway, they literally tore it apart. There's about 7 times that Atlantis sunk. Different actual 7 different sinkings, but there were some small islands off of the main continent that were part of Atlantis. So things went in different stages. You can say it was 3 or 4 sinkings, but it was actually 7. Unfortunately, I remember being there for each one. Anyway, that's where Atlantis is. What's under Antarctica, number one, is a huge ship that's been there forever, like 1,000,000 years. Okay, it's huge. Now that's underneath it on the bed. Now above it, embedded in that ice, there's structures and stuff where there was life, people doing stuff, and that's the good guys, by the way, around Antarctica. A very strong Serpoian, some Antid, the good Anunnaki. There's a lot of other folks there. They're down in that ship, and then, you know, some of them do work with the governments. That was the hangout of the good guys. Still is, but that ship will be removed. A Drock ship will eventually take it out when it's time. But there's other ships that come in and out. There's been some skirmishes around in the sea, getting close towards Antarctica. All that's about to stop. It's going to get hard. Stuff's going to happen, and then it stops. So there are ruins there. It has nothing to do with Atlantis. I'm going to show you something here. And Burju threw this at me one time, a long time ago. She said, "What's going on from over here?" And I just got this place over here, and then I looked at it and put it together, and it's part of everybody learning how to wake up and see this stuff, grow metaphysically. Their abilities grow together. Now, if we look at the bottom, I can't see this. You look at the bottom line right there, okay? That goes from Venezuela. It goes from northeast of Venezuela to west of Mauritania. And that's what Burju was saying, something about Mauritania. That area right there, that's the shelf. The old shelf of Atlantis. There's a lot of stuff that's in there. A ship. There's a ship underneath here. It's protected. Nothing can get near it. It belonged to me in a past life, actually. It was my family that brought the ship in to Atlantis a long time ago, but during the life of Osiris. It was given to Osiris. Isis was a young lady named Anna. She's family. She's been going through hell just like Anne. Anyway, and that's where there's I've said before, things going to happen in the Pacific and then happen in the Atlantic. When it happens in the Atlantic, it's about fighting for that part of the stuff in Atlantis. There's all kinds of stuff down there. So some of it's literally been transported. It's like literally just taken off. Some of the Anunnaki themselves were there. They're about to get their hands on it. All of a sudden it disappears and it rematerializes on one of the good guys' ships in the cargo bay. It was a broken device that was starting to cause problems. I had some of our friends come to me real quick and said, what's going on? We have an issue, blah, blah, blah. It was something that I made when I was a Red Atom in Atlantis. I don't mind saying me because there's no more of the earth energy spirit inside of me. All right, moving right along. Slow as a snail, that's all right. Here's stuff coming up. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in South America. We're going to go there first. Okay, take a look at this just for a minute. You can pause it, whatever. Okay, then now back again. Around Brazil, you see the blue? And there's a circle around it and it goes down to the word space. There's places in the Amazon jungle in Brazil that are going to be attacked by the Drakh, and it's going to happen from space. Now, why am I saying all this stuff? It's like, gee, you're giving it away. Folks, when the Drakh attack, nothing stops them. There's nothing that can stop the Drakh other than the Drakh. And the Drak's, other than, no matter what you are, there's always some problem children in one of those bodies. They're solid, they're powerful, and they stay together. Now, this green, look at a green area there, okay? It says low altitude. That place is going to be infiltrated with ships coming in right over the ocean. Just out of nowhere, they're just going to appear, boom, hit, bam, do their job and leave. It's going to be an attack also. Just go in, bam, hit the places and go. It'll be fine beams that literally go into the earth and just tear it up. Now, in the red, over here in the red, that's where they're coming out of the water. That's literally where they come out of the water. Now, what day is this going to happen? What hour? What time? What minute? After it happens, write it down because it just happened. I don't know what it is, and if I did know, I wouldn't tell you. I want to make sure I don't know. They can't be stopped, but you don't give away information. This is about freedom of the planet, folks. You're supposed to be relaxed and going inside yourself. Hopefully have someone crank you up, get stronger, make yourself come alive, see things for yourself, become well aware. Number one. Number two, it's physically freeing the planet. The Drakh, Antids, and some very wonderful beings are helping. There's a lot of them. That's the only reason I'm not mentioning all of them. The Serpatient, the Serpoians, what people call Greys. Zetas are down here. They got an attitude about some stuff, though. But it doesn't matter. They're different. They're very serious in many ways. Good people. It just, you know. And they are people, folks. You see all these weird bodies. It's weird to us because we haven't experienced it yet. Do you remember the first time you were a child and you saw a pizza, what you thought of it? No, you don't. But if you can go back and relate to it, you'll see, oh, what the hell is this? And then next thing you know, you're good with it. Or not, whatever. Something is going on. I was talking with my Drakh friend. He's a family member. He's one of the council members. He told me right away about Antigua. He said we're going to level Antigua. That doesn't mean they're going to blow it off the map. It means they're going to surgically remove everything out of it, but there's such a deep compound underneath Antigua, part of that island and going down. You can see Puerto Rico over here, and then you have, you know, it just shows attack. Okay, now that's where they're going to get hit. Now up here there's going to be refugees. It's Anguilla, Angylla, right there. There'll be a disturbance in the land. You know, people won't know what to make of it. They'll get out of there. Those that are nearby this one area, and folks, you know, this will just happen. You'll see it. It won't happen tomorrow. So I mean, it won't happen the day after I'm gone. So I don't expect whatever. Maybe it will. Excuse me. So some people are gonna, you know, blah blah blah. Let people talk. People say all kinds of crap, and then when it doesn't happen, they just hide from it. Stuff gets changed all the time on the other side, but this is going to happen. All this stuff is overdue. This planet has been under abusive control for 11 million years. It's about 9 million years ago that it was very strict on problematic Anunnaki control. And it's not the Anunnaki homeworld, folks. Like I say, it's got nothing to do with them. Everything I do with a purpose. There's a reason for my being here. And it's not for anybody to say, yay, Jay. I can't stand it. If I ever heard it, just put it, kind of change that mid-sentence. It's not about me. Never has been, never will be. If I care about everything else and love it so much, and it's my job to protect it, how the hell could it be about me? You'll learn more about this as you wake up more. Man, I'm tired. It'll just happen, you'll see it. But it's important that you understand where Atlantis really is. It's important you know all the bullshit that you're hearing on the internet is bullshit. What's his face? Buzz Aldrin. There's something on the internet about Buzz Aldrin comes back to Antarctica and says pure evil's there. You know, people make up shit when they make their videos. Look at David Wilcock. But there's kids out there that really make up a ton of bullshit. Make David look like an amateur, and he's not. So take something and just turn it into something. Instead of trying to find out for himself using his abilities, he just goes nuts. How can I glorify myself with this? But that's what these other kids do too. It's stupid. What's in Antarctica is what's underneath Antarctica is our friends. There's a ship down there that's over 1 million years old, a little over 1 million years old. It will be removed when people start to wake up. As soon as the folks are removed, the problematic Anunnaki and other folks here on this planet, as soon as they're removed, taken care of, excuse me, that ship's going to be removed. A huge Drock ship will come over with a tractor beam and pull it out of the ocean. It's embedded in the floor, but that doesn't matter. And when you see the Drock, thank you. When you see the Drock, some people will be scared. Don't. They were made like that for a reason. The second life, the second set of lives ever had, Lily and Arae, those bodies were made so that they could literally physically destroy anything the original first being, male and female, made to attack them. Their DNA literally was made by Lily and Arae in the very beginning. Anyway. Yeah. Well, folks, I'll tell you, see you on the other side. I hope that's it. I don't have time, you know, it's not that I don't have time for you. I've always been about everyone. But I have stuff I have to do, and I'm leaving soon. I got to get out of here. Folks, love you. Take the time to relax and find out who you really are. I've said I don't know how many times, you have no idea how cool you are. You don't. Y'all can do amazing things. And if you want to find out what the hell's going on, go to the spiritualfoundation.com, go to the consult page, and talk to someone there, because they can actually see, they can already see and understand what's going on. Because they're listed as ready or taken away until they're ready, until they know. Until they can see everything. That does not mean that anyone that's not on there is not awesome. There's some power hitters waiting to come. I got to get out of here first. And then shortly after I'm gone, there'll be about 24 Source family members on there. It won't be that much longer after I'm gone. I have a little over a week after I leave to where I'm going to be really busy doing reformatting. I have to deal with spirit that needs to understand stuff. A lot of questions and answers. As spirit, we communicate very fast. There's also trillions of us. And the other four first beings need to be cleaned. The first dimension has too much heavy particulate matter in it. That needs to be taken out. Almost all of it. So there'll never be another first being created in the first dimension that has much negativity at all. So, and nothing coming out will ever be alone like the original first being was. So they won't have to suffer the way the original first one did, making it sick. You see things for yourself. Physical realm, you need physical proof. I wouldn't advise running around stomping your feet, screaming, demanding it, but you have that right. You need to see it. Folks, take care, man. I love you. Have a good. As is often the case, I forgot to talk about something. This thing about Antarctica. I mentioned in the earlier part of this video That's where the quote-unquote good guys are, underneath Antarctica. There's been a lot of attention, people going there. So why is that? Like this thing about Buzz Aldrin. I went to Antarctica and there's pure evil there. That's where the good stuff is. Other places too. But that's the primary hangout. It was farther away from everything else in a good location. Like I said, it's been there just over 1 million years. The ship that's underneath it. The Drakh themselves, sorry folks, having problems. The Drakh and the Antids and this new force that's here, they are literally systematically deleting the problematic Anunnaki and others presence here. These idiots, especially the ones working with the military. We got some really nasty beings from other planets working with the Air Force. They're about to have head implosions. Sick. Anyway, they're being taken care of. The things that run the governments, they were told what to do. Now, our governments are trash. They're going to be totally dismantled. They're going to be destroyed. There's going to be, the weeds are going to be pulled out, and new beautiful plants are going to grow in their place. I'm not saying there's an overthrow and everything. Well, there will be, but it's going to be soft and quiet. They're going to be just deleted, taken out, taken away. I don't mean killed. I mean, some of them, their heads will pop, but they'll be taken out of office, is what I'm trying to say. So right now, knowing that our friends are in space, and the problematic Anunnaki down here don't stand a chance, now that the offensive has started, there's a lot of stuff that's trying to switch sides. Oh, I was always with you guys. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. That's why everyone's going to the Antarctica, to the South Pole. They're starting to bid for a place in what's coming. They won't have one. There are others already that have been working with our friends in space for a long time. They're the predecessors of the new government. They'll bring it themselves. It'll just happen. It's time. Told you all the big stuff will be taken care of for you. You just need to wake up, become yourself so you can see it. So anyway, it's wonderful propaganda for the government and the Anunninis, as I've called them, the problematic Anunnaki here, for everyone to think that everything around Antarctica is evil and a problem. No, that's total bullshit. It's exactly the opposite. Isn't that what the government always brings? New presidents and everything else, new political parties, it changes from one to the other. Hey, we're not like them. We're going to help you. Everyone's going to be happy. And it gets a little worse. It gets a little worse. Doesn't matter who's in there. That's by design. Damn it. Can't hardly move my right arm. Anyway, whatever. One last thing. So anyway, don't be concerned about Antarctica, the South Pole. It's all fine. That's your buddies. It's not the only location, but it's the main one. What's I gonna say? I'm glad I'm not going to be sick much longer. Oh yeah. Thanks, Lily. That and Black Panther pushing the thought back into my head. I've mentioned this 1 or 2 times in video already. Folks, you're about to have the true history of our planet. Not what's been written by the schmucks here. The true history, what really happened and why. And you're not just going to be reading it, you're going to see it on video. It's been recorded by our friends, our family in space. Wait till y'all see how nasty the Vatican is. Anunnaki Central for that section of town. Disgusting. Anyway, Antarctica, the South Pole, is nothing but a place of help and refuge for folks who are freeing the planet and been helping us, living and dying with us for many, 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 many centuries. Atlantis always has been and still is in the Atlantic Ocean, just a little bit north of the equator. I could tell you more about it. There's no time, folks. Just read the books. If you want to know, just read the books. Tells you basically how they were settled and what happened on it, the basics. It'll probably be 100 years before you get your new accurate history of what has been going on this planet since the beginning. Love you, folks. Take care.